And so otherwise, I'm going to let each of the students in alphabetical order come forward, get behind the podium, tell you a little bit about themselves, and then at the end, we will try to have we should have a few minutes where you can ask questions of them or whatever. So let's go ahead.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Good.
Wonderful. So I met a few of you already, but my name is Jorge Avila. I am a senior here at MTSU studying political science with minors in university honors as well as philosophy. I lived in Murfreesboro for the past 7 years, and I'm a Blackman High School alum, so pretty local. Before that, I lived in California, but so far I've loved Murfreesboro and the MTSU community. Entering into college, I really just didn't know what to expect, as like much of the students nowadays. I didn't expect to have a lot of opportunities. I just didn't know what was to come. But to be honest, I've been truly blessed with an array of opportunities here at this university. As far as extracurriculars, I have been involved in SG Student Government Association for this is my 4th year starting that. Started off as a freshman counselor and then have been a senator since then. Just a genuinely, just for my personal growth to be a student leader has been something that I'll always remember. I'm also an emissary for the College of Liberal Arts, where I typically promote the university as well as the college to freshmen or students who are thinking about coming off campus. And I'm a Phi Kappa Phi fellow, and I'm also a member of the American Democracy Project. More relevant to the Honors College, I'm also been blessed to be selected as a Buchanan fellow, as well as a recipient of the Paul W. Martin Scholarship for the 2023-2024 year. So I'm truly blessed for those opportunities and for those scholarships. And as far as like real experiential learning, those are one of the most remarkable memories that I think I've ever been able to achieve. I've been able to go to 2 study abroads. First in the summer of 2023, where I went to New Zealand to study leisure and tourism with Dr. Wiley. And then again in the summer of 2024, where I was able to study global politics with Professor Perkins in Costa Rica. And both of these opportunities were just lifetime experiences. Just the ability to go to another country and witness different perspectives and traditions was just remarkable. Costa Rica especially, I was at a homestay with a Costa Rican family for 12 days. So being able to, A, get better at my Spanish, and B, just live in that household and just engage in the daily traditions is just unbelievable. In the fall of 2024, last year, I was selected for the Washington Center internship program, and that was also a wonderful opportunity. Through that program, I was able to choose an internship with the Democratic National Committee, and that was really special because, as we know, it was the 2024 election cycle, and to be able to be boots on the ground in Washington, D.C., with no cost to me, which is just something unheard of, is just something I will never forget again. Just as a political nerd, as I said, I'm a political science major. I mean, that's just amazing. And none of this would be possible without the Honors College, I believe, because they have literally funded these projects and these trips that I've been able to go on. More recently, this last summer, I was able to go to a Cumberland Law School program down in Birmingham, Alabama. And this is remarkable because this was important to me because I want to go to law school after I graduate. And this program only lasted a week, but I was able to engage with practicing attorneys, law firm owners, and ask questions about what the daily life of law school is all about. And this is really important information going forward because I'm soon to start the law school application process. So just a really good experiential learning opportunity. As I enter my last semester here at MTSU, boots on the ground doing a lot of work, but I just took my LSAT, awaiting those scores to be coming up soon. Like I mentioned, I'm to be applying to law schools soon. I'm also writing my honors thesis regarding the Supreme Court case Citizens United and how it has affected democracy in Tennessee. And that's something that I'm really excited about. It's a project. Just general campaign finance is one of my interests in politics in general. And Dr. McDaniel, some of you may know, is my faculty advisor for that project. But then again, like I mentioned earlier, these projects, especially preparing to take the LSAT, preparing to apply to law schools, is something that I would not be able to do without the Buchanan Scholarship and without just individuals like Ms. Clifford over there helping me write these things. Is just you know, it's truly a blessing to have the support structure around me. And so that's just, you know, very blessed for that. And as I wrap up my time at MTSU, I'm going to have really fond memories. And you know what? Thank you for that.
So I would love to just talk to you guys today about how honors education at MTSU has really shaped me as a person, and how I feel that honors education is truly distinct from what we view as typical education. So too often we imagine education as a simple exchange, as though wisdom were water and we are nothing more than its waiting vessel. We are filled and made heavy with stagnant knowledge. But if education were only the act of receiving, we would remain unaltered, crowded with facts perhaps, yet hollow of transformation. At its highest calling, education is the long and unyielding art of becoming, the patient refashioning of thought and spirit until they can shoulder the weight of wonder, bear the burden of truth, and endure the freedom to let curiosity lead beyond the borders of expectation. Such a pilgrimage does not leave the vessel intact. No, it fractures the clay, shatters the old form, and demands that we rebuild ourselves into something vaster, more permeable, and more alive. For what we learn is not meant to stagnate within us, but to move beyond us, to flow like a river that irrigates the ground we touch, leaving behind soil rich enough for others to sow their beginnings. That is the education worthy of its name, not the passive filling of the vessel, but the lifelong remaking of the self. And through that remaking, we carry within us the power to reshape the world. It is precisely this invitation to be remade and to in turn to remake that the Honors College extends to us at Middle Tennessee State University. I stand before you as one who has been shaped by that invitation. My name is Callison, and I am from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I am a pre-med senior at MTSU, majoring in psychology with minors in biology, chemistry, and of course, university honors. I am a transfer from MTSU. I transferred after my freshman year from a school called the University in Cleveland, Tennessee. And when I transferred to MTSU as a sophomore from Lee University, I carried with me a strong desire to pursue academic research that supported my foundation and passion for translational medicine. What I discovered at MTSU was not only the breadth of opportunity, but the extraordinary support system that surrounds every student who dares to ask big questions. Throughout my time at MTSU, I've had the incredible privilege to engage in the world of academic research through a variety of lenses. I've worn many hats, often simultaneously, as an undergraduate researcher, conference presenter, mentor, and leader. Currently, I work in 2 research laboratories at MTSU, which I believe embody the interdisciplinary nature of my career focus. So I have joined Dr. David Nelson's lab in the biology department, where we focus on the interaction between pathogens and hosts such as ourselves. So we study a very specific pathogen that enters our lungs and is somehow able to escape the barriers and protection of our lungs and disseminate to our central nervous system. When it does this, it can cause something called cryptococcal meningitis. So that is something that I'm very passionate about and love to study in that lab. I joined in January of 2024, and then in May of 2025, so very recently, I also joined a psychology lab in the psychology department under Dr. Tiffany Rogers, where we study the neural circuitry in autism mouse models. So that's also very interesting. And through the Honors College, what has been truly exceptional is I've been able to receive honors credit for both of these research experiences. And I believe this is a recognition that research is not just an extracurricular pursuit, but a fundamental dimension of rigorous academic formation. And this conviction will reach its fullest expression in the spring of 2026 when I defend my honors thesis, which is the culmination of all of my independent inquiry in the Nelson lab, so that biology lab that I've been in since 2024. But beyond the laboratory bench, I've discovered that true scholarship does not exist in isolation, but within a community grounded in connection, mentorship, and shared discovery. I learned early that there is profound value in seeing beyond mere data and accolades to the people, stories, and questions that shape our understanding of the world and our responsibility to those in it. In this spirit, I serve as a student worker at MTSU's Undergraduate Research Center, also known as the URC, and I am the current president of SOAR, which stands for the Student Organization for the Advancement of Research. As president of SOAR, I lead a team of 18 ambassadors and officers and support over 250 undergraduate researchers at MTSU. I also oversee ambassador selection, member onboarding, and coordinate events, including research workshops and professional development sessions that aim to foster a vibrant, inclusive research community at MTSU. As a student worker at the URC, I lead the development of our monthly newsletter, and I also contribute to major NIH grant proposals and manage something called Eureka Grant Data. And this is an incredible funding opportunity that we have at MTSU to fund student researchers. Additionally, through this similar vein, I currently serve as the director of our Ready to Soar program, which exposes high school students to the world of undergraduate research. We currently partner with a local Murfreesboro high school called Blackman Collegiate Academy, and our goal is to help them develop their own independent research projects called their Honors Capstone course. And throughout the entire process, leading all the way to dissemination, presenting alongside current MTSU students at our Spring Scholars Week event. That's a really incredible opportunity for them to dip their toes into undergraduate research early on. So I share these accomplishments not as monuments to personal success, but to illuminate a more profound truth. That every role I have embraced, every discovery I pursued, can be traced to a single transformative moment, when the Honors College chose to see the potential in me that I had not learned to recognize in myself. When I committed to writing an honors thesis, something fundamental shifted within me. The process of designing my own research questions, developing methodologies, and wrestlings with findings that didn't always align with my expectations was where I discovered that I wasn't just capable of following scientific protocols, but in creating and thus expanding them. My thesis work and honors courses have given me more than just research and academic skills. They have given me the permission to trust my own intellectual curiosity. Because once I learned to believe that I was capable of more than I had imagined, everything else became possible. My role as SOAR president, director of the Ready to Soar program, and URC student worker, they all stemmed from that initial moment when the Honors College invited me to believe in my own intellectual worth. The Honors College did far more than open my eyes to the capabilities as a leader at MTSU. It supported my efforts to extend beyond the familiar borders entirely. One of the most uniquely transformative events the Honors College supported my growth was through funding my attendance to the International Conference of Undergraduate Research, also known as ICUR, in Warwick, UK. This was in June of 2025, so pretty recently. This experience embodied everything I had come to understand about education as a transformative process, that true learning requires us to be broken open, to have our perspectives challenged, and to emerge rebuilt and more connected to the world around us. And I'd love to just share a little bit about that event because it truly meant so much to me. But I arrived at ICUR expecting formal presentations, polished dialogue, and polite applause. And while I found all of those things, what I discovered in between them was something far more human. In crowded conference rooms between sessions, students from around the world gathered not only to just discuss methodology or accolades, but to share the quiet truths beneath their research, stories of heartache, loss, injustice, sacrifice, and the enduring hope that fuels inquiry. We spoke in different accents, carried different histories, and came from distant corners of the world. Yet, we shared the same sense of vulnerability and an earnest desire to understand the world more fully. The financial support I received from the Honors College was vital to my realization that there is no greater imperative than closing the artificial gaps of division within our world, and that geography is rarely the cause of true separation. There is a unique power in international connection and collaboration. You find yourself nodding to stories that should have felt foreign, but instead they reflect your own. You notice how, for the first time, the world feels smaller than ever, not because it is less complex, but because it is more deeply connected. you come to understand that the boundaries we draw between nations, faiths, and ideologies begin to dissolve when we engage in authentic, meaningful conversations. We need these conversations, and we need each other. I cannot thank the Honors College enough for supporting such a truly enriching experience for me and my fellow MTSU presenters, who were forever transformed by the brilliant thinkers, innovators, and dreamers from around the globe. The Honors College has not left me as a vessel simply filled. It has left me as a vessel broken open. And in that breaking, something greater has been made possible. Because when a vessel cracks, water does not stay hidden. It flows outwards. It nourishes the ground beyond itself. What I have gained here will not remain within these walls. It will ripple outward into examination rooms, where I will sit with patients whose stories I cannot yet imagine, into lecture halls where I will guide future physicians to see symptoms, to see beyond symptoms, to the humanity beneath, and to communities whose voices have been silenced by the systematic inequities in care. The questions I have learned to ask will evolve into therapies that restore human health, and the global conversations that shattered my provincial understanding will reshape how I confront the vast disparities that determine who receives compassionate care and who is left to navigate illness alone. The collaborative leadership I have practiced will become the foundation for medical teams that refuse to accept that any disease is insurmountable and that any community is expendable. This is what the Honors College offers, not just a summation of knowledge, but a full transformation accompanied by the promise to serve something greater than ourselves. The vessel has been broken open. Now watch what flows forth.
My name is Lena Eccles, and I am a transfer student from Denton, Texas, studying nutrition and food science with an honors minor in hopes of becoming a registered dietitian. So why did I choose MTSU to follow that dream? I understood that when I was living in Texas, there were many schools who offered programs that would send me on the right path to completing this dream. They had the correct criteria and the graduation rates to back that up. However, the schools that I considered all lacked something crucial to my success, and that was their passion for student success. MTSU has created a healthy environment for their students to not only grow and learn about their passion and future career through the connections they make with their fellow students, but with the faculty as well. In my 2 years of higher education, I have never experienced the true care that the professors have for their students. Before coming to MTSU, extracurriculars were not on my radar. Not because I didn't have an interest in them, but because I felt like I didn't know how to break into that world of academics. But of course, since coming to MTSU, I am now the president of Omicron Delta Kappa, one of the national honor societies here at MTSU, the president of the Nutrition and Dietetics Association, the associate editor of Collage, the Journal of Creative Expression, an honors ambassador, and a member of the MT Nutrition team. One may think that I have my hands full, and they may be right, but I feel confident in myself to participate in these activities because of the tremendous support I have from both the Honors College and the College of Behavioral and Health Sciences. One experience that I will remember till this day was when I became an honors ambassador. I remember the first day that we all met together and we were tasked with completing a murder mystery game. And full disclosure on behalf of Dean Bio, there was not a murder in the Honors College. All of these people were complete strangers to me at the beginning, but as we began solving clues and playing detective, I realized that I was making lifelong friends. I can assure you that the Honors Ambassadors is more than just playing games, more or less, but what I gained that day was the experience of community. So I say yes to things because I love gaining new experiences and new skills every day. Had I not said yes to taking on leadership roles within the Honors College, I would have no experience in leadership. Same for if I hadn't said yes to being a keynote speaker at a student event. I wouldn't gain the experience of public speaking. But there are so many opportunities that honors students jump into, such as study abroad experiences, research, internships, and extracurriculars. And additionally, the Honors College offers awards to attend academic conferences for students to network and gain the experience of creating those professional connections. One of the benefits I have received is the ability to attend the National Collegiate Honors Council Conference that is being hosted in San Diego, California this year. I would not be able to attend that conference if one of my scholarships had not been used for that experience. Now, before jumping into all of this academic career nonsense. I struggled with work-life balance and understanding how to juggle all of my responsibilities on top of being able to pay rent. So in order to lessen my load, I applied for scholarship after scholarship after scholarship. If I could write the essay, then I applied. No matter the amount, any penny counted towards my future. The scholarships I received included the University Honors Scholarship of $500 and the Ernestine Reader Honors Scholarship of $400. One scholarship in particular is one that quite literally saved my life during my junior year. I received the Transfer Buchanan Fellowship, a scholarship of $3,500 for each semester over 2 years. This not only cut my expenses in half, but it gave me the confidence to delve into my passion and not worry about the financial aspect of college. On top of the scholarship, I have been given the opportunity to complete an undergraduate thesis, an experience that was new and exciting to me. Above all, an experience that sets me apart from other students when applying to graduate school, just a small caveat of becoming a registered dietitian. And speaking of, I just sent in my application on Monday, So to be able to conduct my own research and work alongside a faculty member to this degree was something I considered far beyond my scope, and yet here I am doing just that. MTSU is all about shaping their students for the future and providing them the tools along the way. But it is evident that the Honors College does more than that. They not only provide the tools, they inspire the student to build something new, to craft their dreams from those tools. With everything that I have talked about, I think the most important thing to take away is the fact that the MTSU Honors College is here to care for their students during their time here and watch them continue to grow in their success. Thank you.
I can say it again. Hello, older visitors. My name is Luis Esmurria III, but all my friends call me Louis. I'm from Callison, Tennessee, so about 45 minutes northwest of Nashville. And I'm an accounting major, a senior by the way, but an accounting major with minors in business administration and university honors, of course. The very first time I ever stepped foot onto an MTSU or on campus was here at MTSU, back in 2019. I was just a freshman in high school, and I came for a concert band event. I'll never forget how impressed I was with the Student Union Building, Floyd Stadium, the Music Building, and of course, our very own Honors College. That visit left such a favorable impression on me that 4 years later, when I had to make the big decision about where to go to college, MTSU stood out for its affordability, its excellent business program, and its welcoming home-like feel. I always joke with people when they ask where I'm from and why I did not choose to go to Austin Peay State University. I tell them MTSU is close enough that I can go home on the weekends, but far enough that I need to stay here during the week and avoid the commute. In other words, it's the perfect distance. From a young age, I knew I wanted to go into the business field. As a kid, I pictured myself in a suit just like I am today, carrying a briefcase and being my own boss. In high school, I joined a program that allowed me to take business-focused CTE classes. By the time I got to MTSU, I started out as a business admin major. Then I quickly realized that the job market doesn't exactly hire business admin people, so I quickly switched my major to accounting. And even before that, that's kind of when everything changed. I took my very first accounting class, Principles of Accounting 1. The concepts clicked almost immediately. My professor, Dr. Jared Decker, mentioned the shortage of accountants in the field and encouraged me to stick with it. I went on to take Principles of Accounting 2 with Dr. Sarah Garvin and excelled in it, and then made the switch to accounting. Now, under the direction of Dr. Kenny Abinade, I'm in the proposal stage of my thesis, where I'll be studying the impact of ChatGPT on accounting education, a project I never imagined I'd be pursuing when I first stepped foot on campus. Outside of class, I've kept myself pretty busy with campus involvement, maybe just a little too busy now, I think about it. I currently serve on the Student Government Association Executive Board as the Election Commissioner. I'm the treasurer of my fraternity, Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia, and I also hold treasurer roles in both of the Honors College's most prestigious honor societies, Phi Kappa Phi and Omicron Delta Kappa. On top of that, I'm a Blue Elite tour guide, showing prospective students all that MTSU and the Honors College have to offer. We even joke with families on tours that you can date the Honors College without fully committing to it. If this speech is any indicator, you can probably tell I'm happily married to the Honors College. That's my shameless plug for the Honors College, but it's a genuine one nonetheless. These experiences have shaped me in more ways than I can count. They pushed me not only to grow professionally as a leader, but personally as a person. Looking ahead, my dream is to give back, especially to the Latino community that raised me. Family is at the heart of everything I do, and my Puerto Rican parents are the very reason I push myself to excel. I want to use my accounting skills to help minority-owned businesses improve their practices and thrive. I also feel called to academia. My long-term goal is to earn my master's in accountancy, then go on to earn my CPA, and then one day pursue a PhD in accounting. That's a dream that I would never have even considered had it not been for the Honors College, its students, and its incredible faculty before me today. The Honors College has been a life-changing part of my journey. One of the greatest blessings I've ever received was the Buchanan Fellowship. And I'll be honest, I didn't even apply for it at first. In fact, I didn't even know about it until after I enrolled. But after working hard my very first year and completing several honors courses, 5 to be exact, would never do that again because it was like juggling. But I received a call from my current Honors College advisor, Ms. Laura Clifford, letting me know that a spot had opened up. Thanks to the recommendation of my former Honors College advisor, Dr. Al Bakri, who just recently owned a doctorate. Congrats to her. I was offered that spot. I said yes almost immediately. That fellowship has relieved the financial burden of college, which means I can fully focus on my academics and leadership opportunities. I plan to use the $5,000 in study abroad support and funding to pursue a study abroad trip in Japan this next summer with the Department of Accounting. Beyond the scholarship, the Honors College itself has given me a true home away from home. Whether it's a cozy second floor classroom, the puzzle tables on the second floor, or the quiet study spaces, it's unlike any other place on campus. It's where I found community, encouragement, engagement, and inspiration. When I was asked to reflect on how honors has helped me reach my dreams, the answer came easily. It's given me a true support system, a community I can lean on in times of challenge, but also in times of success. It continues to provide opportunities for growth, and I know it will remain a driving factor not only in my success, but also in the success of future honor students who step through its doors. I wanted to conclude with something resounding, so I leave you all with this quote by Maya Angelou that goes as follows. It is important that we learn humility, which says there was someone else before me who paid for me. My responsibility is to prepare myself so that I can pay for someone else who is yet to come. It's been an honor, unintended, speaking before you all today, and I thank you all for your continued support of the most distinguished program at Middle Tennessee State University.
Hello, my name is Isaac Puckett. I'm a senior biochemistry and honors student who has actively been conducting undergraduate research for the past 2 years. As a first-generation college student from a low-income background, my journey has been shaped by both challenges and hardships. Economic instability in my family, as well as my parents' view on educational researches, or on educational resources, often limited my access to those educational resources. However, growing up in this environment only further fueled my desire to pursue higher education. That year, I managed to graduate from my high school as valedictorian, while also classified as a homeless, at-risk youth. While excelling in university coursework, maintaining a 4.0 GPA, I initially had only broad interests in chemistry as a career. However, it was during my first organic chemistry class that I discovered my passion for organic synthesis. Determined to pursue a career in organic synthesis, I joined Dr. Scott Handy's lab as a researcher focused on my own independent projects. Since then, I've won 4 undergraduate research experience and creative activity grants, 1 undergraduate experiential training program stipend to fund 3 projects since January 2024. My research projects have focused on investigating the effects of different amino acids on a reaction that is commonly utilized in industry and research, and on discovering new molecules that have applications in biomedical and disease research. This work served as my honors undergraduate thesis, and I've since presented it at a regional conference, 2 state-level conferences, and multiple university-level conferences. For this research, I was also named Goldwater Scholar for exemplary research, an award that was only given to 411 STEM students across the nation this year. I was able to win the scholarship thanks to Laura Clifford, who helped me every step of the way with the application process. 3 total drafts. This summer, I also completed a 10-week-long paid internship at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City, the 2nd best cancer hospital in the world. There, I conducted research into the development of novel therapeutics for Alzheimer's disease. I developed skills that truly set me apart from other STEM students. Just to elaborate on how competitive this opportunity was, there were over 400 applications submitted to the program this year for just 5 spots. Now, as I still recover from living in New York City for 3 months, I find myself reflecting on how rewarding my experience at MTSU and in the Honors College has been. It was the Honors College that initially encouraged me to pursue undergraduate research, and it was the Honors College that encouraged me to pursue those Goldwater Scholarship and those summer research internships. So, with all this, I have fully realized my goal to become an organic chemist, focused on the development of novel therapeutics for cancer and Alzheimer's disease. I plan to apply for PhD programs in chemistry this cycle. Specifically, I have my sights set on schools such as MIT, University of Michigan, University of North Carolina, and Vanderbilt. I'm excited for where the future takes me.
My plan A was to get a microphone, and plan A failed, so we'll stick with plan B to just use my voice. My name is Renee Tetteh. I'm a junior here at MTSU with a double major in political science with a concentration in pre-law, and French with a minor in university studies. Before I talk about myself, I would like to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the Honors College for giving me this privilege and selecting me together with 5 awesome students. I always get excited to share my story because I think it's very rare and interesting. I'm a proud US citizen born in California but lived in Ghana for over a decade and returned back to the US in 2022 for college. I'm proud of my African roots as well because it denotes my identity and constitutes a great portion of my life. My entire middle and high school education was in Ghana. I went to Holy Child School for my high school education and then applied to MTSU for college in 2022. I applied to MTSU because of proximity and convenience, given that I had extended family here in Tennessee, and everyone urged me to apply to MTSU. My intention was to get involved with extracurricular activities and give back to MTSU for granting me the Future Alumni Scholarship throughout my 4 years here. On my first customs day, my College of Liberal Arts advisor encouraged me to join the Honors College, and so did my family. They were awesome and gave me the right transition I needed from the African curriculum to the college US educational system. Pertaining to campus involvement, I am a College of Liberal Arts student, Esmurria, and it's a dynamic group of undergraduate student leaders who share their unique experiences of MTSU CLA with prospective students, family, alumni, and community members, and promote the college in various ways. I was the secretary for mock trial for over a year and joined since my freshman year till date. Thank you, Dr. Dai, for bringing mock trial to MTSU. I am a member of the Legal Studies Society, and this semester we began studying in groups for the LSAT, which isn't funny at all. It's been great and effective so far. I've also been working as a federal work study student in the Department of Political Science and Global Affairs since my freshman year till date. This involves assisting the dean and faculty with administrative and academic tasks, and also designing the notice boards for homecoming and other events. Recently, we entered a competition to design the board, and I'm hoping we win because we spent a lot of time doing it. I'm in the African Students Organization as well, and we promote African culture through theater and arts. In the future, I aspire to become an international attorney, serving both the US and Africa. I get asked the same question every time I mention my political science pre-law major. So what are you going to do after school? And in 2022, I said law school. In 2023, law school. 2024, law school. And we're in 2025, and I still want to go to law school. I aspire to be an international attorney in the future. I want to advocate for the rights of the abused and underprivileged, especially women and children, while contributing to NGOs to provide financial and domestic support. To prepare for this path, I plan to attend law school in the near future and will be attending the upcoming law retreat by the Law School Admission Council next month, where I'll engage with over 100 law schools before making my final decision. The Honors College has been one of the substantial parts of my growth here at MTSU, and the pillars implanted right outside of the building walls still speak true to me today. And these are curiosity, creativity, honor, integrity, commitment, faith, character, and discipline. All advising coordinators have done great in inculcating these values in me. From Dr. Albakri and Ms. Bachmeyer, helping me with all my classes, to Ms. Clippard, helping me reading my Gilman Scholarship essays and embracing study abroad opportunities, to Ms. Lee having me featured on the Honors podcast soon, and Ms. Prescott setting me up for volunteering and advising opportunities have been so heartwarming. Thanks to my Honors Success team, I went to Senegal this summer for my study abroad trip and began my paralegal assistantship at our Timothy Hogan Law Office right after. This summer, I was a recipient of the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship, the CLA Study Abroad Scholarship, the MT Engage Study Abroad Scholarship, the MT Engage in Your Community Award, and the MTSU Office of Education Abroad Scholarship. All these totaled over $6,000, and as part of the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship, I'm completing a follow-up project promoting study abroad opportunities, and this includes serving as a Gilman speaker in Zoom meetings and also as an honors podcaster, encouraging fellow MTSU students to embrace study abroad opportunities. I would like to conclude with words from our Shrewdwood Pledge. I'm proud to be a member of this diverse community. I'm proud to be a valuable contributor to its progress and success through campus involvement and engagement. I am a recipient and a giver. I am a listener and a speaker. I'm honest in word and deed. I'm committed to reason, not violence. I am a learner now and forever. I am a blue raider, true blue. Thank you.
So who wants to lead off with a question? You can direct it to one or to more than one. Yes.
I'll start. Hey, I'm Betsy Ledbetter, and my question's for Lena from Denton, Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a long way from here.
Yes,
And
it is.
you mentioned, I took some notes, that your reason for coming to MTSU was you knew that we have a passion for student success. So my specific question is, how did you find that out?
So my parents actually, they moved to Murfreesboro, Tennessee while I was still in Texas. And I was looking to apply to a 4-year after my community college. And they mentioned, they're like, hey, MTSU is a really good school. One of my cousins was going there. And so they were like, hey, I think you should apply. And so I looked into it. Specifically what I was looking at was a program for nutrition and food science, or just for dietetics in general. And that's when I found their program. I reached out to the professor, or the department head, and we had a Zoom conversation, and I just was like, I'm in love. Like, I need to be in her program. And then I also dated the Honors College while I was here. And he was like, put a ring on it. So.
Put her ring on.
That's great. That's wonderful. Lena from Texas. Thank you.
Well, I just would like to say that you're all so impressive.
Yes.
And you came from Texas and California and Ghana. That's a long way to come. You really have a wonderful futures ahead, and I am so proud of all of you. I don't have a question because you answered.
So I do need to tell you, I asked each of them to come by and we were going to go through their speeches. And I think it was Renee who told me she had chosen, after telling me she grew up in Ghana, that she had chosen us because of reasons of proximity. And I suggested she might need to take a geography course before I found out that no, she had family in this area. So, yes, Andy.
I'd just like to ask each of you, if you plan on furthering your education after middle, where do you intend to apply, or where would you like to go to school?
Yeah, why don't you go?
Yeah. So I took my LSAT a couple weeks ago. I'm getting those scores in a couple weeks from now. So I'm just waiting on those scores, hoping I did well enough to go to a good, decent school. But personally, I would like to go to somewhere like Boston or DC. I took that internship in DC, made me love the city. So it really does depend on that LSAT score. But obviously I would like to have a good academic law school program, but financial, affordability is also huge on my list.
Well, I have a list of 13 PhD programs I'm applying to. They're pretty much all on the East Coast. Hope I get one.
So for me, I'm pre-med, so my goal would be to go to medical school. Similar to you, I haven't taken my MCAT yet, which is the entrance exam for medical school, and that score kind of decides where you would like to go. For me, my dream has always been to go to Vanderbilt because it's really close to home. But Vanderbilt offers these incredible programs to work with patients with disabilities. My sister has Down syndrome, and she's the most incredible part of my life. And Vanderbilt has really unique research opportunities with that patient population, and they have something really unique called the Down syndrome clinic. And I just think that's like the most incredible thing in the world. So that's something I'm definitely looking into.
For me, I think I've got it all figured out, kind of. But all subject to change. I want to do the Masters of Accountancy program here at MTSU. I know the faculty pretty well, and so if I could be a GA in their office, that'd be pretty cool. And I wouldn't have to go anywhere, so that'd be nice. Sometime in between a PhD and the Masters, I'll probably end up taking the CPA exam. For those of you who don't know, it's the Certified Public Accountants exam. And then for a PhD program, it's likely looking like I will go to the university in the East that's like orange. I don't know what it's called, but go through blue. But also like looking at like University of Kentucky, University of Alabama, I'm just kind of keeping my options open with that.
I'll be graduating from MTSU in 2027, so I plan to take the LSAT probably in the spring of 2027. I'm currently leaning towards Belmont University, but next month the Law School Admission Council will be having like a program, and they'll be bringing in 100 law schools. So I'm pretty sure by then I'll have a wide range of opportunities to choose from. So I intend of going to law school, next 2 years.
So, like I said before, I just submitted my application. And this one is like you submit your application to an application program, but you get to choose the amount that they send it to. I chose the Oregon State University. They have a wonderful program for dietetics. And similar to your story, my brother has severe autism, and they have a program in which you can work with, not students, you can work with children with disabilities, and I would love to do that. And my second option is University of Tennessee Chattanooga. And they also have a wonderful program in dietetics. So either or, I would love to go to either of them.
Dr. Cliff?
Yeah, I loved all your presentations, and your stories were exhausting.
It's not that many hours in the day.
I just so appreciate what you have to do, what you have to tell yourself, and how you just get through each day to accomplish the things that you have. I do have a question, though, specifically for Jorge and Renee. I'm a Californian. I just want to know what part of California you're from. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, I only lived there for the first 6 years of my life, but I was born in like Hollywood. I spent most of my time in Pasadena, California.
I'm from La Cañada.
Oh.
Yeah, that's only a guy from Pasadena would know.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I was born in like a small city called Vallejo. I don't know if people know Vallejo. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
What's your favorite football team?
The Raiders. Las Vegas now, but still.
Okay, Don.
Several of you mentioned your involvement with student government. So you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing for homecoming tomorrow?
Joining the parade. But part of SGA is we have to do like service hours for like the broader MTSU community. And so personally, I signed my name to just like facilitate like the whole, I guess you'd say, production preparation for the homecoming parade. And I plan on marching in it as well, so it should be fun.
I can echo that. Let's see. We pretty much plan most of the parade on our part. I guess it's a kind of plug for me, but tomorrow I have the opportunity to walk on the field and escort one of the homecoming queen candidates. Just because we were short of somebody. But I will say that's going to be really cool. And also, you know, the Buchanan Fellows and all the Honors College will be out on the field, I think, at the start of the second quarter. So
I think a lot of people don't realize that the student government is actually responsible for the homecoming parade. I think a lot of people think it's a university or alumni or whatever, and they all have their part. But so congratulations on that. I think it's going to be a great day.
So I want to tell about my experience in the homecoming parade last year, or was it when we did the 50th? Anyway, put me in a nice car, and nobody really trained me for this. They gave me some candy, and I thought, well, what should an honors dean do? So I threw it out and say, do your homework. Study hard. They didn't invite me back. Yes, thanks.
Well, I've already spoken to you and told you that I was thrilled and I knew I was going to hear great stories. But I also told you that I'm thrilled that you're going to be in charge of the world.
Yeah.
They are going to be in charge of the world.
Yeah.
But I have a question, because this is who an old teacher is, okay, kind of thing. You've got wonderful stories. You obviously are aware, and you're alert, and you're energetic, and you're thoughtful, and all those good things. But what is an honors program could have been provided to you that might not have been provided to you? Or another way to phrase that question might be, a whole new class is coming in every year. You want them to have the same opportunities that you have. But are there other things that might be added, or other approaches that might be added, or other perspectives that might be shared that you think might have opened your world? Not a lot, because obviously it was really, you accomplished so much, but might have made a tiny difference at maybe one point. I think I heard a couple of those in there, and if I collectively look at your presentations, but thoughtfully, all of that wonderful, if you could tell us what that is, or if there is something, that could be very helpful to planning and putting together what might be even, it's still a program, by God, and it's distinguished, and they know, I know better than almost anybody here how distinguished that is nationally and everything else. But what would that be? What would that be? Have any idea?
I mean, I have one.
Go.
Okay, so when I first started at MTSU, and just as a freshman in general, I feel like the barrier to get involved in research is really difficult for a lot of students. We have some amazing programs and resources to help students get involved in research, but it's really, I think what's most valuable is getting to be in the lab and see what they do and really connect with those professors early on. So in my head, I feel like some kind of research immersion course that's provided for freshmen or maybe newer transfers to get to like shadow certain labs at MTSU that they're very interested in joining would be super impactful. I think early on, most labs on campus, we have weekly lab meetings that they could probably attend, or maybe even shadow some of the grad students and see kind of what experiments they do. I definitely think that would be something that would open my eyes earlier to certain labs that I'd be super interested in joining.
Awesome.
Good.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, I remember in my freshman year or sophomore year, I met this friend who was like, well, you don't have to like be a part of the honors college. You're going to take difficult classes and it's going to affect your cumulative GPA. And especially when you want to go to law school, you have to take classes that are, easier, so you get higher GPAs and then you get like what you want to do. Well, I just told her that I'm still going to stay and see for myself. So I stayed in the first year, second year, and then I declared honors as a minor. And I realized that the difference between the honors classes and the other classes are that the honors classes gives you like an all-round intellect, and it broadens your scope of knowledge. It helps you think wide. When I was going for an interview as a CLA student at MSU, I remember like they were asking questions and I could think on my feet because I took honors classes. And I think that's a really great opportunity. And I'm also glad that the honors podcast is going to start coming up so people could hear more about the honors college classes and then be encouraged to take them.
Just to follow up on that, did you find, I used to get that question a lot when I was working in the honors program back before it was in college. I value my GPA. If I get in an honors class, my GPA will go down. I think most of the students did not find that to be the case. I think they found that they were very stimulated and that the expectation was that you were all A students, or at most of A students. And their GPAs did not go down, on the contrary, sometimes went up. And did you find that to be the case, or did you find them that much harder that you had to compete? I know you compete more in an honors class, but it's also more stimulating, I would think, that you really want to compete. So what was your experience with that?
So from my experience, I found it initially challenging because I was from Ghana and I transitioned here, but I had good advisors and good teachers that helped me show up during office hours, and they helped me transition that perfectly. And I'd say that like with most of the honors classes I've been taking, I've been able to get like all A's in them, and I'm excited about that. I think it's about like you setting your mind to be better, because once you're in slightly difficult classes, it programs your mind to work harder, and then the other classes become like much more easier to you. And then it makes you like good in the job market out there, because you become better than like other people who just took like normal, easy classes. So I think it was a great change and transition.
What we say, and I think it's true, is that the courses, I mean, like any course, you're going to have some that are harder or easier than others, but our design is not to make them harder, it's to make them smaller, more interactive. You're with other good students, so probably you're going to get a little bit more information, but the key is more interaction, discussion, higher levels of thinking. So we have food, I believe, set out upstairs. There is an elevator right out here, students are invited to join us. And I encourage the students, if you can, to, find a board member or two. I know they'd be interested in talking to you. You guys did an excellent job.